the rears are an inch wider. So more rusty bolts to add to the collection. And we should be able to get a chisel in here and separate them apart. And we will measure the width. The front wheel is on for test fit. And that should be the hardest part of the project now done. And I'm on my way to having my dream set of wheels for my A86. Okay guys, so in the previous video you would have been aware that we've managed to split the two wider of the two pairs Advan A3Ds. Now the wider ones are going on the rear of my A86 and we've worked out what size lip I'm going to need to order. But in this video it is the turn of these two here. Now these are going to be the fronts, whereas the two that we have already split and prepared via Vapor Blast, they are going to be the rears. And we know that from the stock lips, we want an inch wider. So we know that for the rears. So to measure up what I'm going to require for these two, I'm going to quickly whip off this wheel, whack one of these on, do some measuring, work out what size lip that these are going to require, and then we can start stripping these down. And hopefully these will split apart just as well as the rears. Okay, so more rusty bolts to add to the collection. They will all be replaced. But that is now both wheels with all their hardware removed. And just like these, with a little bit of WD-40, they came out lovely. I've also done on both of these, as well as the rears, I've got some paint stripper and I've already removed the red, because I found that with the Vapor Blaster, which I use, it just wasn't quite strong enough for some reason to remove the red paint that was inside where it states Advan, and also these little grooves here. So I've already removed that. Already have one on the hub, and as you can see, I've already ground a slit. All that needs to happen now is that I grind back the weld on the rear, as we did with these, and we should be able to get a chisel in here and separate them apart. But before I do that with this one, I'm going to remove one of the front wheels here, and I'm going to bolt this on, and we'll sit it down and we'll measure what width lip that this is going to require. We're aware that the rears are an inch wider than what was on there originally. I feel that this is going to be relatively close to that, but I want to confirm it. So yeah, we'll bolt this one on and we will measure the width against the front arch, and then I'll know what width lip I need to order for these fronts. So that is the second one done. A slit about 5mm deep, and also there you can see that I've ground down the weld on the rear. So all that I'll need to do now is get my Dremel and just cut through between the face and the lip, the rear lip. And if you remember from the previous video, I made this little gauge here. So you rest this bit against the inside of the barrel, put a pen in the hole, and we'll run round. And if I then slit a couple of mil with the Dremel along that groove, it is in between the rear barrel and the face. So just here you can see where I've started to mark it on this one. So this here will be that width there. So you can see that it cuts between the face and the barrel. So it's then easier to split like so. Okay guys, so the front wheel is on for test fit, and so far it looks awesome. So this is the height it will be sat at roughly. Once again, just put it on a piece of wood, the wheel is resting on it. But yeah, really happy with that. And you can't quite see just yet, if I rotate the wheel once it's off the wood, you'll see it's really flush to the caliper, fits really well. But with regards of the lip, marked 1/2 inch and 1 inch on my ruler. I'm just resting it against the lip there, flat. Don't know if you guys can see, but if I'm square up with the arch, 1/2 inch squares it up perfectly. Whereas an inch sticks out quite a way. Now, you'd think that I could go for an inch and go for some good stretch. Now these have been stretched, and I will use slight stretch on these, but I don't like going crazy, and this already runs 2 degrees of negative camber, and I also don't want to run too much also because I don't use it as a drift car, and also I don't like eating through tyres where they scrub on the inside. So the way that the suspension is set up at the moment is how it will remain. So I think what I'll do to play it safe, I'll go for 1/2 inch wider than these lips on the front, and as mentioned, we'll go an inch wider on the rears. So I think that is going to be the safe bet. I would hate for the front wheels to protrude too much and it just won't look that good. I quite like the idea that the front wheels are slightly tucked, and I do prefer a wider dish at the rear. I just like that look. So I think that's what we'll do. I'll measure up and I'll order 1/2 inch wider on the fronts, inch wider on the back, get those ordered, get them test fitted, and then we can see what tyres we can get, and I think that'll look good. So I will continue to split both these front wheels, get them vapor blasted and prepared for either paint or powder coat. Haven't made my mind up yet. And yeah, we're on our way to seeing how these wheels are going to look in their rough final form. Yeah, so as I mentioned, guys, look, if you can just pick up the flush fit against the caliper. Perfect, no spacers needed. So really happy with that. Okay guys, so back on with the task in hand, removing the face. You can see here, I've now marked a line all the way around. And I've got the Dremel with the fitting. I just want to cut only a couple of mil just to break the join between the face and the barrel. And then we can get our chisel in here. And then hopefully these will break apart as easy as the rears. Speaking of which, with a little bit of paint thinner, you can see now they've cleaned up lovely and there's no red paint left where it is embossed there. So they are ready, same with the barrels, and we will do the same with these once we've split them apart. Okay, so I've just gone in about 1 mil, maybe 2 mil. So we'll try that first. Get the chisel in here and we'll see what results we get. If I need to go a little bit deeper, then I will do, but I'll just play it safe. But yeah, this is similar to what I did last time. Yeah, let's give it a go. Let's see if we can break it apart. See the crack appearing? And all we've done is gone through, well really we've only just scratched the surface with the Dremel, but it seems to just weaken the back side of it enough that when we give it a whack with the chisel, it will split. And you can see that here. So this will be apart in a sec. There you go. So we had to clean that up. Another good cut by the looks of it. I always aim for the lip side, so I cut more towards the lip, which you can see here because it's gone in. So we can save the barrel because these lips, as you guys know, are going to be replaced. So yeah, all I've got to do now, get my solid bit of wood and we'll tap this face out of the lip, and then we'll get on and we'll do the same with that one. So I've just finished cleaning up this barrel. You can see there the excess weld has now gone. With this one still to do, you can see how rough it looks. And then once that is done, we can then ship these off for vapor blast, and they'll be nice and clean also to match the two here, which are for the rears. So it's only just clicked that these lips that we've cut off are a different width. So these are what were off the Advan racing wheels, and these were off the ones that just say Advan, which are going to be the fronts. And obviously the offsets were different, but I didn't really click, and then realised that these are 3-inch, whereas the fronts are 2.5. Now, from what I've measured, I want to go 1/2 inch wider on the front. So I'm going to clean them up, clean the wider ones up, which are 1/2 inch wider. Just bolt these together and fit it on the front, and just to confirm where it sits. Because if it still isn't enough, I know then that I want to go with 1 inch wider. So after a few hours work, we finally have both the wheels split apart. And that should be the hardest part of the project now done, which is fantastic. And we can send those away for vapor blast and get those cleaned up, ready for either paint or powder coat. Now, if I choose to paint them, I will do that myself. But if I choose to powder coat, I'll just get the faces done in the black, and then I will paint the red details, possibly with enamel myself. But either way, they will be lovely and clean, ready for that process. With regards of the lips, now I have them off, I can measure them up correctly and add the inch and the 1/2 inch and get those ordered. Now I'm unsure on the waiting time, but hopefully it won't be too long. The company I'm going to use is relatively local to me. So yeah, we can get that done. But now I will get everything cleaned up. The barrels do need a clean up where we've cut through them, and I can also get them vapor blasted. So they are all ready and done, and they're very good condition like the front, so I'm very happy with that. So yeah, long process, but well worth it. And I'm on my way to having my dream set of wheels for my A86. And just like that, we have 4 vapor blasted barrels. And just like the other 2, they have come out in fantastic condition. I have ground down the edges and the weld, so that will now be ready to be masked. I'll mask this bit up here where it joins onto the lip, and I'll do the same with these faces. So all 4 faces are now done. I will mask up this area here where it will bolt against the wheel. And I think the route I'm going to take with these, I've decided, is paint. I'm going to paint them and use an enamel red paint to do all the details. They were painted before, and I think they'll be fine to be painted again. So I'm so happy with the finish that, yeah, I'm going to go that route. But yeah, all the wheels are now done. As I've mentioned, I'm going to measure the front lips and get those on order. I have had a look. There's a couple of companies that actually sell them, and I think I'm going to go with Aero Elite, which are around about 1.5 hours from here. They are the UK supplier for the rims carnated products. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to order the lips, and I don't know if they do the fixings like the Torx headed nuts and bolts. But either way, there is a company that I can get those from also, because that is what I want to do. And I think I'm going to go with chrome. I think that'll look nice against the polished lip. But yeah, get those on order. And then as soon as they arrive, I'm going to mock these up. And then I can show you guys exactly how these wheels should look. And we'll also test fit them on the car. So that's 1 masked up. 3 to go. Just going to take a little break from the wheels because a box has arrived, and this is from Benny. Now, as far as I'm aware, these are going to be a couple of JDM signs. I do love my signage, as you can probably see around the unit, and I do have a collection of Japanese signage which I've bought from Benny over the years. And he had these come up, and I was interested, and I thought I'll go for those. So I've waited a couple of weeks, but they're here. So whilst we're here, I'll open them up and I'll show you what I've got. Always good to see a bit of Japanese newspaper. Blimey, he looks angry. So this is an LED sign. This should be that to state that there's a security camera, if I remember correctly. And then this one that's going to be in here is a forestry sign. So let me get these open and I'll show you what I got. I'll put the angry man back in his box. So here we are. So yeah, from what I remember, security camera in operation. It's really nice actually. Don't know if you can pick it up, but it's etched. It's almost like 3D. It's really nice. And it comes with all the, what I assume is the cables and the plug to light it up. And from what I could see in the pictures, it was in red, but I don't know if you can change the colour in this. I don't know if it's one of those where you get the remote and you can choose what colour you want. But I will have a look. But that's that one. And then this one here is the forestry sign. I like this, and I do like my metal signage. I'm not quite sure of the era of this and the year of manufacture, but I just liked it. And I do prefer the smaller ones because I am slowly running out of space, but I'm always moving bits and pieces around, which I will do. But yeah, thank you for that, Benny. Really appreciate that. Like I said, random break from the wheels, but I wanted to show you guys whilst they arrived. So yeah, I'll find a place for those on the wall. So I think that is as far as we can go in this video. But whilst the lips and all the fixings are on order, I'm going to crack on and start painting the faces. And you'll be able to see the results in the next video. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.